Why are American farmers literally begging the Trump administration for help?
The president's tariffs have put this country in complete turmoil.
For me, it's going to cost me around $150,000 a year.
$150,000?
Yeah, roughly 50% of my revenue.
That's a huge hit.
That's a massive hit.
For the first time in 20 years, China's bought 0 soybeans and 0 new crop corn out of this country.
We're going to lose 25 or 30% of the farmers in this country if they don't do something. It has to be done, and it's not just here, it's everywhere.
The same president who promised he would never hurt farmers.
I love farmers. I want 80%, 85% of the farmers, and I'm never going to do anything to hurt our farmers.
Is now overseeing one of the toughest years American agriculture has ever seen. Farm bankruptcies are at their highest rate in 5 years, and farm debt is projected to hit a record $591.8 billion this year. The reason? Trump's trade war.
President Trump's trade war is running American farmers out of business. Every time the president says the word tariff, it creates havoc in the markets.
They're struggling to survive, and Trump has no real plan to help. Trump's trade wars are disrupting every aspect of their business and erasing the markets that American farmers rely on. And it's not just Trump's trade war. Rising costs from groceries to healthcare and mounting debt are pushing new farmers out, threatening the future of family farms and destroying our country's rural communities. The reality is, this trade war is being waged on the backs of farmers and working people, but it doesn't just impact them. It impacts everyone with higher prices, screwed up supply chains, and crippled local economies. Trump promised he'd be the most pro-farmer president ever, and that he'd never do anything to hurt farmers. But the numbers and real-life stories tell a completely different tale.
Nobody wants to do business with us, whether it's Japan, Australia, Europe, Paraguay, anybody. They don't want to do business with us because they have no idea what's going to happen.
A few weeks ago, hundreds of farmers in Arkansas gathered to beg the administration for help. And a smaller delegation of them even went to Washington, D.C. to petition the Trump administration directly. While this particular meeting has gone viral, farmers all over the country have been raising the alarm ever since Trump's trade war went into effect. The bottom line is that Trump is screwing with the livelihoods of the folks who work day in and day out to put food on our tables. Trump continues to betray farmers and rural Americans, and it has to stop now. Our team has done some digging on what our American farmers are facing under the Trump administration. And what we found, it ain't pretty. Across the country, family farmers are hitting a real breaking point. In just the first 3 months of 2025, farm bankruptcies nearly doubled from the same point last year. Doubled. And the debt for farmers, on top of the mounting costs and lost markets, is crushing. This year, farm debt is projected to jump 5% compared to last year. And more than half of all agriculture economists say the ag industry and family farmers are already in a recession. But it's not just a farm problem, it's an economic problem. This year alone, the US trade deficit in agriculture has ballooned to $28.6 billion. The worst on record. Soybean exports to China collapsed by more than 50%, wiping billions out from farmers' income.
It's a 5-alarm fire for our industry. Right now, we are not price competitive with Brazil due to the retaliatory tariffs that are in place. Our prices are about 20% higher, and that means that the Chinese are going elsewhere because they can find a better value.
U.S. soybeans leaving New Orleans without the tariff to China are cheaper than Brazilian soybeans at the current market. But when you put the tariff on top of them, Brazilian beans are cheaper.
Farmers are faced with the reality that these markets might never come back. And now, to add insult to injury, proposals to slash SNAP threaten to make matters even worse.
I have heard over and over again from farmers who are already facing headwinds. The Trump tariffs, they don't have markets now that they had markets before. And now you add this. This is food that's produced by American farmers when you cut $200 billion, as the Senate bill does, from the SNAP program.
USDA found that when families buy groceries to cook at home, about 24 cents of every dollar that they spend goes back to a farmer somewhere in America. And according to a Food Research and Action Center analysis, SNAP participants cut their food purchases by roughly half for every dollar that they lose in benefits. SNAP benefits don't just help families put food on the table, they're also a direct source of revenue for American farmers. Cutting $187 billion from SNAP would take $23 billion out of the pockets of farmers.
We've talked a little bit about the cuts to SNAP. Those obviously impact children, hungry individuals, but they impact farmers too. Farmers nationwide, including in Illinois, have SNAP as a part of their business model, whether that's at farmers markets or part of CSAs. And so cuts to SNAP also impact farmers' financial stability and bottom line.
Cutting SNAP leaves Americans hungry while also pushing more family farms closer to collapse. And when farms keep closing, it sets off a domino effect. Food prices climb higher, rural economies hollow out, and instead of family-owned farms, corporate agribusiness and foreign imports take over the food supply.
All over this country, family farmers are being driven off of the land, and that to me is a real tragedy. Growing up, if you talk to people who grew up on farms, they say, Bernie, that was a pretty good way of life, and we're losing that. So how do you create an economy in which we, once again, put an emphasis on family-based agriculture, not corporate agriculture, family farmers who are growing good, in many cases, organic food for our kids?
And what does Trump have to say about it? That's right, nothing. No plan, no support, just radio silence. In April, Trump said to farmers, quote, "Have fun," speaking about his new tariffs. Looking back, his words take on a darker meaning as tariffs are crushing the agriculture industry and their livelihoods. And the truth is, Trump has changed his tune on tariffs so many times it's hard to keep track. Tariffs haven't made farmers rich, they've made them desperate. The fact is, Trump's trade war has effectively priced American farmers out of the global market. Countries like China are now turning to other nations to get the crops that they used to buy from United States farmers. And the impact doesn't stop there. This next generation of farmers is being squeezed out before they can even begin. And once that link is broken, it's not just today's farms that vanish, it's an entire legacy and an entire generation. Trade wars and erratic tariffs are political decisions. They live in the realm of economic policy and international relations. But what's not political are the lives that are being impacted as a ripple effect of those decisions.
A new report from the CDC says suicide rates among American farmers is higher than any other occupational group.
Can you give us some insight into how this trade war is affecting farmers and what some of their concerns are?
Well, I think the administration and Congress is out of touch with American family farmers. Everything that they're doing is creating more uncertainty in the markets and creating greater income challenges for farmers.
The financial strain, the isolation, the pressure, and the weight of preserving a family farm are taking a deadly toll across our country. Without change, America risks not just losing today's farmers, but an entire legacy of family-owned farms. Donald Trump isn't new to breaking promises, but the cost of his recklessness is landing squarely on the shoulders of American farmers. This administration and every elected official supporting these policies must be held accountable for what farmers are enduring.